Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're talking about Enshrouded's latest update scheduled to hit on November 10th. This new update called Wake of Water is shaping up to be a pretty big change for Enshrouded, including a brand new water biome, water effects and swimming, new weapons, enemies, and balance updates. This one is looking to be pretty epic in terms of what it adds to the game. In this video, we'll talk about the top 10 changes coming to Enshrouded that you need to know about on November 10th. Starting at number 1, of course, we talked about the new water biome coming to Enshrouded, which is huge. What's been shown already from previews is a massive new tropical region packed with lakes, rivers, waterfalls, and hidden underwater areas. Now, since the launch of Enshrouded, the map has actually expanded quite a bit, adding not only more areas, but also materials, items, weapons, and even lore. And each new biome that's been added included multiple quests and just fun different things to do, including new mechanics to keep players busy. I mean, keeping in mind that Enshrouded is still technically in early access, this is pretty huge as the game keeps getting larger and larger. But that brings us to number 2, which is the introduction of a swimming mechanic and underwater exploration. So not only will players get access to the new water-focused biome, but swimming with underwater exploration as well. Players can now dive, swim, and explore underneath the surface with water physics and water traversal. This should add a lot of depth and complexity to the map. Even though you could already fly and traverse underground, you can now swim as well, giving you basically 3D exploration in any direction where you never know what you're going to find. Swimming will also have some new mechanics, obviously, like managing your oxygen, possibly underwater combat, hidden chests, and loot. We don't know all the specifics yet or if new skills will be added to go along with swimming, but it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle this. Number 3, you should expect to see more new enemies added to the game, like amphibious and water-themed enemies, including lizardmen and monsters adapted to the new biome that we're going to be able to explore. We've seen a few examples already, and what was interesting is that these enemies are fluidly moving from water onto land. I'm guessing there's some additional new enemy AI mechanics as well to let them do that, so keep an eye out for underwater ambushes and hybrid enemy behavior coming in this next update. For update number 4, let's talk about fishing and new aquatic resources. It does seem like everyone loves fishing in their games nowadays, and the latest trailer did showcase just that. Hopefully it's done well here with a lot of good rewards as well. In order for fishing to be really impactful in any game, I think players do need to be rewarded for that extra effort. Enshrouded has a variety of gameplay loops already, with its focus on combat or crafting, exploration, building, so fishing is going to add another really nice layer of gameplay, I think, if they do it right. If they loop it into the other systems with new materials and new crafting recipes, it's going to be another fun way to spend time in this game with low stress. So we anticipate some new craftable fishing rods, catchable aquatic life, resources, and new recipes. For number 5, let's talk about water-based building. Now, we expect to see dynamic water physics coming into play here, but with building, structures that might be usable over or beneath the surface. And this is going to lead to a lot of new base building opportunities and possibly travel mechanics. Now, players can already build incredible structures in Enshrouded with a variety of different crafting and building options, but adding water to the current and existing houses as well is definitely going to bring things to a new level. This will also force players who love base building to go out more and explore, trade, and craft new materials needed to assemble potentially those different water elements of their next build. Plus, the water just looks amazing and lifelike, so this is going to be a great addition to players who just love that building experience in Enshrouded. One of the biggest changes that we haven't talked about yet is weapon stats. The team at Enshrouded has been working on making these more relevant, more interesting, and more engaging. For example, the weapon, the ice-coated daggers, currently does 0 frost or ice damage, which doesn't really fit the theme of the weapon itself. But for this latest update, the developers have gone over all the current weapons in the game and have adjusted them based on their names, theme, and overall performance. This will also include weapons, rings, consumables, and that should make those items better suited to match the name or the vibe of the item overall. Now, another huge revamp in terms of items will be the ability to craft previously found unique items. Developers gave an example here of the Wailing Blade, which is a unique glowing flame weapon that looks pretty amazing. But the downside was always it was obtained earlier in the game and you couldn't craft or find a higher level version as you leveled up. Basically one of the coolest weapons in the game remained unusable at the end game. Well, this will no longer be the case. With Enshrouded's newest update, you can now craft all of these previously obtained items and they will scale to your current level. Now, we didn't see from video previews if they gave you a gem slot, but most likely not. So these might not be the best, meta end game items, but it's still a great way to have a reliable weapon via crafting as you level up and progress in the game. Speaking of which, another change that was mentioned in terms of weapons is overall durability. Now, one thing that was noted by developers here is that most weapons in the game are uniform in terms of their durability. So if you have a brand new weapon and an endgame legendary, those two weapons need to be repaired just as much as each other. Well, that's no longer going to be the case either. Durability will now scale with item level and rarity, making higher end gear sturdier and less needed, meaning you need to repair it less. This change is going to be really helpful, giving you more time to explore and engage in combat without always having to return to your base to repair your gear all the time. And one note here is that weapons you already acquired will not be retroactively changed though, so expect to regrind all of those new legendary weapons. Next, let's talk about the expanded loot pool and enemy drops. So new weapons are going to be added to the global loot table, including the Fellthunder Brute Greatsword and Scavenger Fearsome Acid Cleaver. Enemy drops scale with level and rarity, so players will already have to regrind previous items to get optimal stats and durability changes. What's nice is now you can get some new weapons, and hopefully the new biome is an endgame level, allowing you to get the best in slot for endgame players. Speaking of farming gear, a massive nerf here to gear farming will be introduced in Update 7 as well, specifically farming chests. Now, if you didn't know how this works, currently you can log out, reset the server, and that's going to reset gold chests in the game. So basically, endgame players would mark all the chests on their map, make a quick loop, taking advantage of the quick opens and RNG before logging out and doing the same thing over and over. And you can easily get many legendary weapons this way, but no longer in Update 7. And now the game will actually remember the chests that have been looted, and those will go on a respawn timer. This is going to be a bit of a negative considering legendaries are going to be harder to get now, especially with gems being introduced and previously acquired weapons not retroactively granting a gem slot, so getting those items again might be quite a grind if your goal is to get the best in slot weapons. Basically, just make sure to mark your maps and hit every gold chest as soon as you log in to start that timer. Again, we don't know what the timer is yet, but yeah, definitely a big change in terms of farming gear in the game. But the last change we want to mention is a major rework to the Mage, and that's for players who, start as a magic user and wanting to use the staff. Getting started can be pretty brutal. What's annoying is that the good spells actually take quite a while to get. However, the developers are adding a new Firebolt spell, which is a quick, single target and fast cast. This should help bridge the gap a little bit until you get your first Eternal spell like Ice Bolt or start crafting more advanced spells. And another quick change for balancing purposes is going to be health and resource regeneration. Currently, the health regeneration is pretty powerful, and the developers are actually lowering this so you can't passively heal through everything and avoid using potions and bandages. We might even expect to see some stamina and mana regen nerfs as well, forcing you to spend on more resources, skills, and gear to basically sustain your character versus being able to play a pure damage dealer. But that's going to wrap up all of the major changes coming to Enshrouded in Update 7. Let me know what you think about these down in the comments section below. Are you looking forward to the new update? Why or why not? And thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.